What if you saw the end of the world, but no one else could? Every morning, Jake took the same bus to work, staring out the window as the world passed by. It was routine, boring even. But one day, everything changed. As Jake looked out the window, he saw something that made his heart skip a beat. The familiar streets, the houses, the people, they were gone. In their place was a wasteland, a scene of utter devastation. Buildings were crumbling, fires raged, and the sky was dark with smoke. Jake blinked, rubbing his eyes, but the scene didn't change. He looked around the bus, but no one else seemed to notice. They were all chatting, listening to music, completely oblivious to the chaos outside. Panicking, Jake tried to get the driver's attention, but the driver didn't react. He was driving as if nothing was wrong, as if they weren't speeding through a post-apocalyptic nightmare. Jake's heart raced as he looked out the window again. There were people out there, but they were different, twisted, and feral. They reached out as the bus passed. Jake knew he had to do something. He couldn't just sit there while the world outside fell apart. But as he stood up, the scene outside changed. Everything was back to normal. The streets, the houses, the people, everything was as it should be. Breathing heavily, Jake sat back down, trying to make sense of what he had seen. Was it a hallucination? A nightmare? But the next day, it happened again. And the day after that. Each time the vision lasted longer, the destruction more intense. Jake tried to tell other passengers, but they didn't believe him and thought he was crazy. But Jake knew what he saw. He started keeping a journal, recording every detail, trying to find a pattern, a clue. One day, the vision lasted longer than usual, and Jake noticed something he hadn't seen before. A figure standing on the side of the road, watching the bus. The figure was shrouded in shadow, its face obscured, but Jake could feel its gaze, cold and piercing. As the bus passed, the figure raised a hand, and suddenly, Jake felt a sharp pain in his head. He clutched his temples, and the world around him blurred. When he opened his eyes, the bus was empty, the seats covered in dust, the windows shattered. The vision had become reality. Jake stumbled off the bus, the figure now gone. He looked around at the desolate landscape, the ruins of his town, and realized the truth. He had seen the future, and now he was trapped in it. What would you do if you were the only one who could see the end coming?